Atmanaman to everyone. Neera Serene here at Om Karma. Today is a very special day for me and for Om Karma because in this particular spiritual gym talk show, we have with us the very renowned and versatile actress of South Indian and Bollywood films, Rakul Preet Singh. A very
Hello.
warm welcome to you, Rakul. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you?
I'm absolutely good and fine, and it's such a pleasure to see you here with me. And yeah, so that's lovely. So
Likewise.
before we proceed with our talk with Rakul, let me just let's talk a bit about briefly on the amazing things that this beautiful actress does for herself, her strengths, and her success. Rakul Preet Singh is a successful multilingual actress who has been part of blockbuster films across Hindi, Telugu, and Tamil industries. Her enthusiasm, knowledge, and love for fitness is evident from the fact that she owns a few branches of highly successful functional training gyms. Being a lover for sports, she has been a national golf player and a proud owner of a franchise in Tennis Premier League. She is also known for her philanthropic initiatives for children, especially girl child in difficult circumstances. The Women Development and Child Welfare Department of the state of Telangana very recently announced her to be the brand ambassador of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign. And yes, there is another very beautiful side of hers, and that's being into spirituality. We all have seen her interactions with Sadhguru, which reflects her earnest desire to know and to seek spiritual knowledge. So here, let's talk with Rakul and let's get to know a bit about her journey with respect to how is she, when I say that, Rakul, if I have to ask you, what is actually spirituality for you, and are you actually living a spiritual way of life, with respect to your hectic schedules and your roles that you play?
I think spirituality in general is a way of life. It's something that you understand. It's the way you perceive things around. It's the way your action reaction happens. And to me, this happened about, say, 4 years back, which was my introduction into spirituality. And I had, grown up. Of course, my parents are very God fearing, but I didn't really have the concept of spirituality. This is something that I stumbled upon. There was a phase in my life where I was not very I didn't have a lot of support around, and then when you're working, you get stressed, and I was constantly busy. And this was when I was doing 2 or 3 of my biggest films in the south, and I was working every single day, and still there was something which felt empty. And that I didn't know was what. So I started reading a couple of quotes, generally self-affirmation quotes, and that make you, come on, you're a Wonder Woman and you're a Power Woman. And then I
Yeah.
realized, okay, let me pick up a book, and I picked up Secret, which at that time when I read made so much sense to me, as opposed to when I'd read it earlier. So I understood it, and I was like, oh, great, life is not that complicated. So I read all the volumes. I read a couple of more books, Brian Weiss's books. Um, and then that's how my interest really began into spirituality. And then, like they say, what you seek is seeking you. I
Yeah,
wanted to meet
exactly.
Sadhguru, and it just happened that I got a call from their end that, would you do that chat show, and will you open the rural games for them? So I guess, when things have to align, they align. And it's never that one day changes and you become into a spiritual person. It's always a deeper understanding of yourself. It's a process. It's a lot of patience, and you need to flow with it. And I think for me, it's been a process of the last 4 years, and I would say that I'm still learning. You still have situations where you kind of give in to your human instincts,
Yeah,
but
that's
i
right.
am
Yeah,
I'm way calmer.
yeah,
So I would like to believe that yes, I am somewhere there trying to lead a spiritual way of life, and it's the best way to be.
yeah. So I've also heard that you keep reading a lot of, the spiritual books, and you seek the spiritual knowledge. So we wish to know that how do you blend spirituality with glamour?
When people look at the glamour industry, they think that it's very easy and everything from the outside looks really bright and convenient, and people are starstruck. But I can tell you that this is one of the most toughest industries, because your life is not yours. You are always in public domain. You don't have work hours. There are no office hours. I mean, if I'm shooting nights, I'd be shooting nights for days, and you're jet lagged in India only, and there are
Yeah,
just no
exactly.
timings, and you're always at uh, people's calls, and it's basically you're on your toes. So I feel when your lifestyle is so hectic, and when you still have to put on a happy face even if something is bothering you internally, which could happen to anybody, I think it's very important to have that calming factor in your life. And that's how I bring spirituality. Like today, I was definitely a person, because I didn't know how to react when people wrote stuff about you when I was new. This is when I was very new, and if things were written in articles which was not right, you do get affected, because you don't know that you're supposed to not really care. But I think once you get control of yourself and what really matters, and you draw that line between your work and yourself,
Yeah.
uh, and that's what spirituality helps with. A good meditation always helps you keep calm, because let's face it, there will be competition, there will be projects you might be replaced from, or you might end up doing, films might be a success or a failure. But just to maintain your balance and your sanity, and still keep chasing what you love, and passion for cinema, I think that blend comes beautifully.
Yeah, so I think you meditate regularly. That's what I know about you. And so, how many hours or what is the time period that you put in for your meditations? And I'm sure this meditation practice must be helping you to cope with the stress and your hectic schedules.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I started with, before meditation, I was never a meditation person. I was somebody who loved my adrenaline. I loved working out, and I couldn't sit for even 5 minutes. And I had that restless mind, which is always thinking, because you have to chase your own work, and you have to create your own work, and you're constantly with so many people. So my mind was always rushing, and there were times I used to say, Rakul, calm down. It's like a battery that's on 24 hours. So I got to yoga, and yoga calmed me down, and from yoga my route into meditation happened. And initially I began with 5-minute meditations. I couldn't sit, and I started with candle meditation, just focusing on the flame. And now I can do up to an hour if I have to, but I don't do an hour every day. I try to do about 20 minutes every day. When the lockdown happened, I was doing about an hour, because you have that extra time to give it to yourself. So I was doing my extended meditation. But now, as a practice, I make sure I do at least 20 minutes every day. And I don't necessarily think that you have to sit for hours if you have sort of taken control of your inner emotions. You don't
Yeah.
need that time, because, like I said, it becomes a way of life. You don't really have to meditate to be in a meditative state all the time. So I hope that I can continue this 20 minutes. I think this 20 minutes I will continue even when work starts, for sure, because it is a kickstart to my sanity in the morning.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And being a physical fitness freak, so how do you feel about this concept of indulging into a spiritual gym? I have I have coined this name called spiritual gym, because I say that okay, physical fitness definitely for the body, but then what about the mind, heart, and the soul? So
Right.
how do you feel that getting into a spiritual gym, making it a practice for everyone. How do you think that is?
I loved the term a spiritual gym. I remember when you shared it with me first, and I really loved it. And I think it's great that people are talking about it. You're talking about it. We live in a very external world, I feel, and everybody just looks at your appearance or the external factor to a human being. How's your job? How much money are you making? What kind of house do you live in? But people don't really concentrate on how you're feeling, and what are you happy today, what is the emotion for the day. And I think that's where well-being of your mind comes into play. And spiritual gym is very, very important, because like you said, it's not just a body, but it's a mind body soul connection, and only all three are on the same page will you be able to progress in life and lead a happy life. So I am absolutely pro emotional mental well-being, and that I feel happens only when you look within, not outside. And it's very, very important for everyone to do that.
So, what are your other stress busters? Do you indulge in any other spiritual activity
So
apart
I
from?
firstly don't believe that stress has to happen. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, that's
I
lovely.
would like to
Yeah.
call them unwind busters.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
or things that I like to do otherwise. But I just feel that it's such a given in the society. Oh, because you're working, you're going to get stressed. No, I'm working because I like my work. That doesn't necessarily stress me out. Not working might, you know. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I like to what do you call, hang out with my friends for an unwinding. Even if I'm shooting for 12 hours, 13 hours, I feel that if I can take out that half an hour at the end of the day and just have some great laugh with people who I really connect with, it's like a complete unwinding for me. I love to watch movies that, you know, or a lot of content from the West, because of course it influences the kind of work you are wanting to do. Of course, yoga, meditation, working out, these are three
Yeah,
things
because
I,
yeah. So I
yes,
saw saw a couple of pictures of yours in some yoga poses.
yes.
So I thought
I
that
do
you are a yoga lover too. Yeah.
I do aerial yoga.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
so I think yoga really changed the way I looked at myself, or I dealt with the external factors. You know, for me, yoga happened first, and then meditation happened, because it calmed me down, and made me able to, you know, sit for meditation. So that's my unwinding. You put me in nature and with greenery and, you know, great music, just that soothing flute music, and I can just sit with a book in my hand. That's my unwinding. I read a lot. Eating good food is my unwinding.
Oh yeah, that's there. But then you've got to be careful
But I
because
eat healthy.
again, you know, like
My
you
palate
have
is
to
healthy.
maintain a certain, you know, kind of
No, but I don't
physical
like
body. Yeah.
junk food. I don't
Yeah.
like junk food. My
Yeah.
palate is of healthy food, because
Healthy food. Yeah.
yeah. I've read up a lot on Ayurveda, and I follow a vegan lifestyle. And now I turned vegan in November, and
Oh wow, that's fun.
I just love how, you know, when you feed your body, because the misconception is that people don't eat to be thin. You don't have to do that. You have to eat the right things, and good amount of right things. So I love to bring in that gourmet healthy cooking. So that's my big stress buster, if I have to say, especially during this lockdown. What are we eating for lunch, and what are we eating for dinner?
Yeah, that's really good. And so Rakul, looking at your successful journey at this young age, um, if I have to ask you, you know, the viewers will be really excited to know if you have a success mantra. What is it?
I've uh, I've always believed that there is no mantra to success. There's no shortcut. There's no mantra. If you are really passionate about something, you have to make sure that you are perseverant. You are just dedicated 24 hours to that, and you got to believe in yourself. I think hard work, even if you're a little less talented, you know, because of your hard work, you will go places. But you can't really sham on that. I feel you have to give your 100%, and only then the universe will bring it to you. And that's the only thing. And do it with all your positivity and all the right intention. You know, don't chase your passion because you want to make money. Chase your passion because you truly love it. And I also feel that what's very important for everyone to understand is that yes, we are driven and we are passionate, and but we can't be delusional. You have to give yourself a certain amount of time to chase something particular that you want to. But then we have a life to live, and if that doesn't happen or go your way, then you have to gracefully accept and make success
Yeah.
out of something else, you know. So I feel success has many definitions. For some people it might be making a lot of money, for some people a big house, but for me it truly is that what makes me happy every day. That's my success. You know, if I am waking up with a smile on my face, that's a successful life.
Yeah, that's right. Because even I've been always saying that happiness is somewhere within you. Nothing outside can actually, you know, kind of give you that kind of happiness. So if you're happy
Yeah,
within, you're
yeah,
happy outside as well. And
absolutely.
coming to acceptance to all that is also so important to make you
Very.
happy. Yeah. So that's how it is. So although
I
you were, yeah,
when I moved to Bombay, I'll just add, because if people are watching and they might think, oh, you're privileged because you have it, and now it's very easy to say. But when I moved to Bombay, I'd given myself 2 years. I finished my graduation. I graduated in maths, and I had an option of going into films right when I started modeling, but I chose to finish my graduation because I knew that this is a very difficult industry and I need a backup to fall back upon. If I want to tomorrow do my master's and things don't work the way I want them to, because not necessarily everybody gets everything. So understanding those things, and gracefully accepting everything, I think is the bigger push in life. That's when you're really able to make it, when you don't really hold on to it too badly. So I'd given myself 2 years, and luckily things worked out. But I know that if they hadn't worked out in 2 years, I would have gone back and pursued my masters and
yeah,
done something else with my life.
exactly, exactly. So all those people who are watching you, the entire holistic and well-being fraternity, we would all be, you know, keen to know or keen to get a message from you, specifically in this pandemic and this, you know, coping up with life situations in these tough times. What is it? What is your message to all of them?
I'm still a nobody to give a message, but whatever my learning or my understanding of life is, I just say that, the lockdown has definitely forced us to realize what is truly important in life,
Yeah,
what our real joy and happiness is, who are the people you care for, who are the people who matter, and how small moments can really be truly rewarding. And I think
absolutely,
that's all that
absolutely.
matters in life. You have a house, you have food, you are healthy, and your loved ones are healthy, and that's all that really matters. And everything else can be figured. We as humans can figure an alternate way of functioning. I mean, today we're doing Zoom interviews. Of course, it's an alternate way. So I think getting back to basics and really living with what is truly important, and not getting drowned with what the society thinks is important, is a bigger understanding. So I just tell everybody that when you don't understand what's happening externally, please look internally. All your answers are there. And if people think that meditation is boring and spiritual talks are boring, no, it's not. I couldn't do it myself till you really understand what it is. And you don't have to sit for hours and hours and meditate or go to Himalayas and do that. I mean, it's just a
Exactly. Yeah,
calmer way to be. And that would
yeah.
be my message. uh, why should we get affected by other people's reactions? It's not in our hand, so let it be. So I would just say that live in the moment, and be happy at all moments, and really look inward.
Absolutely. That's so beautiful and so well said. In fact, at this age, I mean, I am too inspired, honestly speaking,
Um,
because all this, the kind of substance or the kind of intensity that you have, generally we don't see in such a young age. You know, this is something where people talk of when they are somewhere hitting the middle age, and the upcoming
yeah,
generation.
I've aged too soon.
No, I think the upcoming generation, you know, they need to really think about it more and figure out a beautiful way of living their lives happily. I think that's
Yeah,
really important.
yeah.
It's been such a pleasure and such a pleasure for
Thank
you
you.
know, for me, that you've spared your precious time talking to us and being of such a value. Thank you
Not at
so,
all.
so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Loads
so much.
and yeah, so loads and loads of love to you, and umpteen success to you. God
Thank you.
bless
Thank
you.
you so much.
God bless you.